Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Two Buds One Podcast, episode 27. Wait, I freaked out. Is that the wrong? Wait, one second. It is episode 27. Sorry for, yes, I am your host, the Technojelly, with my co-host, Alchem Games. We haven't done this in a while because my internet died, I got sick, and it just happens.
An existential crisis.
Yeah.
I'm a cat now.
Yes, they are a cat now. But there's so much that happened in the past 3 weeks, basically, that there's no way we're going to get to everything. But there is one thing that you and I, Alchem, have talked about constantly. You responded to Twitter. I replied to Twitter. Like, it happened. But you probably forgot, because you probably forgot that today is the day. But it's gone, Alchem.
Oh, yeah. Well, technically, today isn't the day. It was 2 days ago, right?
For what? What do you think I'm talking about?
A really bad video game?
A really boring video game. Concord.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. It was supposed to be going on Friday. On
No.
the 6th, right? Or maybe it was the 8th.
No, it's today. Oh. It was technically... Yeah, it was earlier today at 1 p.m. Eastern when I went offline. Yep, people witnessed it live. There were people streaming the game, and they witnessed the shutdown of the servers live.
Dang.
And it is gone for good.
It's one of those rare moments where you can actually be around at the death of a game.
Yep.
It's kind of rare still.
It's still pretty rare.
It's not that rare. It's still
rare for it to happen live.
When you... Yeah.
But it's
gone.
It's gone. Okay.
But it will not be forgotten. Well, okay, it's going to be forgotten.
It's going to be... It depends on what happens. The thing is, depending on whether or not it's forgotten, is if what happens next. Because they didn't say...
that you work it.
Like, I'm pretty sure what's going to happen, unfortunately, Alchem, is that they're going to repurpose the game into a free-to-play model a year from now, release it, it's going to fail again, and then get shut down.
Oh, no, it's definitely going to be free-to-play. They're going to... Look, not to knock it, there are some talented people behind the 3D models and designs and everything.
I mean,
now,
the gameplay is fine.
Making them.
The gameplay is fine.
The gameplay is a standard shooter team-based kind of thing, team-based hero shooter. The problem is, it lacked the soul. It really did lack the soul.
The problem is the game feels like a ripoff of everything.
Yeah.
It feels like a ripoff of Overwatch, Guardians of the Galaxy, and like Halo all at the same time. And I'm honestly I'm surprised that I don't feel a single original bone in the body of the game. And that's not me making fun of the devs or saying the devs just cashed in and cashed out, because there's a lot of work done on this game. The character models are good. The gameplay is fine. The shooting is fine.
The voice acting is
fine. Voice acting is fine. The problem is that you can't release a 5 out of 10 anymore in the shooter market anymore. It just doesn't happen.
No.
You die.
No, you either do the same formulaic thing like COD and a bunch of other games that do that kind of thing do it, or you have to have some kind of personality. Like I said, I'm generalizing when I say soul, but what I mean is the uniqueness, the quirkiness, the personality, something that catches you. The characters have to be something. Like, they have to be some kind of crazy if you're going to do a hero-based shooter. You can't just have generic Soldier 76s all over the place, or I'm not saying...
Not even that. Soldier 76 has way more personality than any of the characters in that game.
I just feel like
the character that I saw people like the most was I don't know how much gameplay you actually watched of it, but one of the
people jumping to death.
Yeah, I saw that too. One of the tanky characters was like a Roomba, like a gigantic Roomba robot.
That's it. That's the one I saw too.
Like he actually is a pretty cool concept as a character. But like he's the one character.
Cool. Yeah,
and like all the other characters, while inherently fine, they just like they're just they're just humans or humanoid aliens, which is just really not, because okay, it's not like you can't do cool characters like that.
Yeah.
The problem is that like, I don't know, like it's one of those things where this game felt like this game needed a single player campaign so desperately, because the problem is that when you're doing a multiplayer only game, you have to have crazy looking characters. When Overwatch first came out and it was multiplayer only, we had zero lore and zero like thing with any of these characters, but all the characters were so unique, and like the problem is these characters are too generic looking to have any immediate pop out thing, you know? Like and like their story is a 2-minute cutscene.
Yeah, I love how they were announcing, we'll reveal more, we'll show more, we'll do more. Then comes time to show and actually tell and let people find out about the characters. We just got like a simple like 2-minute video, and that was it. That was all we ever got.
And you know what? You know what, Alchem? It's actually worse in my opinion, because it wasn't a simple cut. It wasn't a simple cutscene. It was an extremely well done, boring cutscene that cost millions of dollars to make. The camera work was really good. The voice acting was good, but it was just so it was probably the most boring. I watched the cutscene outcome. I want the 2 minutes back. It was so boring. They just talked about nothing because you have no context of anything, and I don't even know the characters' names.
That's because they basically did way too much. The whole idea is show don't tell, but the problem is you started off with being like over the top actiony with little show, because you don't know the world, you don't know the characters, you don't know. You just suddenly stuff just started to happen, but you don't understand why. You don't understand the cohesion between characters, and you're just like, what am I looking at?
Do you know the concept of? Do you know what the story of Concord is?
No,
because I found out. And you know what the sad thing is, Alchem? It's actually kind of interesting.
Great.
The concept of Concord is that they're all mercenary companies, and a big mercenary company found a map. Like they found this crazy big map. No, not like Borderlands.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Borderlands.
No, they found a map of basically it's not a key, but like it's this map that allows them to travel undisturbed, basically. Right?
Oh, so it's a magical, like, it's a map to a treasure that could be
no,
like,
there's no I literally never said treasure once, Alchem.
Okay.
I literally never said treasure. I don't.
Borderlands.
It's not Borderlands, because Borderlands isn't a good story. It's not, Alchem.
You didn't have to go there. You didn't have to go there.
But basically, it's a free-for-all mercenary company, and all the other the people who found this just gave it to the mercenaries for free and then disappeared. And then now that's why they can go travel along.
But why? That's kind of stupid.
Well, we're supposed to find out why, I think. The problem is, Alchem, is the only way you find this out is you go into the game and read the mountains and mountains of wall text about all the individual planets.
Oh, they did that. They did that
it's
kind of storytelling.
Yeah. It's like you can... There's a lot of... Apparently, there's a decent amount of stuff that's actually pretty interesting. The problem is it's just text.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, and like it's why I kept saying this game needed a campaign. Because unfortunately,
they needed to show, not tell.
Yeah. And the problem is
no, they wanted to tell us through a giant ass wall.
Yeah. And with cutscenes with no context. That cost a lot of money.
I'm just gonna say this right now. Developers, most of your audience now, the core audience, has grown up with TikTok. Their short attention span is non-existent. You need to show them action. You need to tell them the story through actual story, not through a wall of text. They don't have the time for it. unless you're gonna use some like like text to speech to just say it in while Subway Surfer's playing underneath or something.
I mean, it's not even just the TikTok crowd, because you and I, Alchem, are not TikTok crowd, and we don't even read.
Yeah, my attention span is gone.
Yeah,
anyway.
like you can't even blame TikTok for that, because gamers have literally never read anything. We don't read. I don't even know how to read. I don't even know how to read. I can't read.
You can read? Oh my god.
No, I just said I can't.
Oh, okay. I was like, sorry, I can barely hear.
Yeah. But yeah. So honestly, Alchem, I'm just scared that this is going to be it's funny to say because it's Sony as well. It's going to be like Morbius, where they release Concord again.
Dude,
it's just going to fail harder.
We weren't there this weekend. We weren't there.
We're busy that weekend.
I have seen people do like a what's it called, petition to re-release it, just like they do with Morbius. Yeah, like Sony put it out again. We weren't ready.
Because I mean, the biggest problem with Concord is that it's not a bad video game. It's that it's a boring video game. It's boring and just not interesting. Worse. Yeah, that's the biggest problem. Like a bad video game, there's a lot of entertainment in a bad video game. Yeah, you know,
because
a lot of
entertainment. Like partially broken but can still work. People will have fun breaking the game.
Goat Simulator literally made its name on being a kind of janky, funny game. You know,
exactly.
In fact,
this is a by the books hero shooter, but by the books doesn't really do.
Well, the problem is, Alchem, it's by the books from like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Like it's too by the book and it's just too old. The concept is just too out of date. Like if they release this 3 years after Overwatch 2 or after Overwatch,
it would have worked.
I think this we'd be talking about Concord and it's still going and it's still fighting over. You know what? Honestly, it would probably be like, wow, I'm so glad that such and such chose Concord instead of Overwatch because Overwatch 2 sucks and Concord's still going strong or something like that. You know, that's what we'd be talking about instead.
I don't think so.
I mean, you never know. I mean, the thing with Concord's gameplay is that the gameplay was solid.
Yeah, it was.
And
I still love that when I watch gameplay at the last week, it was just people jumping off the ledge just to end matches and getting XP.
Yeah,
that was fantastic.
Yeah.
So that started.
So that is Concord. That's Concord. Rip Concord. We hardly knew you.
Concord. We will see it in like probably either December or January or probably middle of next year.
It's probably going to be at least a year. What I think is going to happen.
I would generally go. Yeah.
What I think is going to happen, Alchem, is that Firewalk Studios, the devs of Concord, are going to get slammed. Everyone's going to get fired. And whoever's left has to pick up the pieces and try to figure it out. And the problem is that like corporate restructure is going to take a while, because it's been said there's more people on the dev team that played the game. Like Firewalk Studios is a huge studio. There's hundreds of people in part of the Firewalk Studios. More people worked on the game than played the game. So like that studio is gonna get destroyed by Sony because Sony owns them. So like they're gonna get wrecked, and I feel bad for it to say it, but like it's gonna be true.
And then they post a stupid thing saying like, we have no IPs, we didn't nurture enough IPs. I'm like,
yeah,
what the fuck are you talking about? You just abandoned all your IPs. You couldn't even remaster. Like you didn't even try remastering. I saw a post where Sony is saying we have no IPs, we haven't nurtured any IPs.
Yeah, it was one of the CEOs, I'm pretty sure.
And then I saw, I think it was PlayStation Europe posting a wall of iconic IP characters and
that are
saying,
all just gone.
Which one are you playing? He's like, which one are you playing this weekend? And I'm like, bitch, you haven't made any new ones of these. These guys, this is like literally Days of Future Past wall of like gone IPs.
Ironically, the only IP they really stuck with is God of War.
Yeah, I mean, they just they just made God of War Ragnarok, and that's it. I mean, Nathan Drake was there. I saw Spyro. I saw Crash. I saw so many other IPs. I saw no, they didn't even bother with Sackboy because of what happened with the third one.
But I like the first one, Little Big Planet. I enjoyed the first game.
Yeah, they have all these IPs and they do nothing on them.
Yeah,
they literally sit on them and just let them rot, and
they just burn money by buying Destiny and Concord.
just bring back Resistance. Bring back Resistance. Oh my God, they could just do that. Do another Shadow of the Colossus. Do any Twisted Metal. Where the hell are you? You made a show about it. Why don't you make a game about it? Just as for the love of anything.
And I think the worst thing is these don't need to be crazy big games as well. You know,
no,
they don't need to be. They don't need to be 7-year long, multiple hundreds of millions of dollars down to try to make your money back. A lot of these games can be like a good 3-4 years. Start cranking them out. You know.
I would settle for a remaster. Like I honestly would settle for a remaster.
At this point, I wouldn't, because I don't even know if I trust them to remaster it.
A remastered Crash Bandicoot? I would.
They already have remastered Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, you're right. I know.
I own those
games.
I'd do it again.
I'd buy it again, though.
Yeah, that's because you're a sucker.
A remastered Tomb Raider. Give me another Tomb Raider, please.
Yeah, well, to be fair, Tomb Raider is Square Enix.
Yeah, that's true. Wait, it is? Wait, Square Enix owns Tomb Raider?
Yeah. The Tomb Raider is notorious for Square Enix because they keep talking about how every single game they release as Tomb Raider is a failure, even though they sell millions of copies. Because they've just bloated the budget for all their games.
Huh.
I think the last Tomb Raider, the game that came out, was like, it sold 7-point-something million copies and was reported to be a financial failure, and apparently behind the scenes in Square Enix in the financial reports.
They do still have Persona as well. They have Persona. I forgot about that.
True, but but to be fair, Persona is, while it is a popular game, it's still very niche.
And also, I don't think it's an IP of Sony's anyway.
I don't think so.
It's just a series.
Because Persona's on PC as well.
Yeah,
and Persona is actually, isn't one coming out for the Xbox?
Shin Megami Shin Tensei. Maybe, I think. I don't remember.
Don't remember, honestly.
It's been forever. There are quite a few IPs. It's just that they're not acknowledging them, or they just like I said, they just sat on them and that's it. They didn't do anything with them.
I mean, at least speaking of like that, we can bounce that into Astrobot. Astrobot apparently is like the best game ever made.
I knew it. I called it. I saw that game and I saw it. I was like, this is good. This is good.
I'm pretty sure
platformers are still good.
Oh yeah. Okay, look, I'm going to do a controversial thing, because even though people don't like it, like the Metacritic score of Astrobot is insane. The last time I checked, let me double check. Yeah, it's got a 94. It's got a 94 on Metacritic.
It's like, you want to know what's funny though? It's good. People are doing this because, one, it's refreshing, it's new, it's something that hasn't been done in a while. Even though platformers have been around for a while, it hasn't been done for a while, because and most game developers and also the gaming audience in general just goes to general shooters at this point.
Yeah,
I think right now people are slowly going into fighters right now, because I'm seeing Street Fighter starting to go on the rise, and so is Tekken. But people are picking up Astro because it is refreshing. It has soul. It has all this cool little references that you notice. I've seen references to Persona to
Astrobot,
Guilty Gear.
Do you know the
Astrobot? Sorry, I say Astro. Yeah.
Do you know the history of Astrobot?
Nope.
So, Astrobot was it was almost like the Wii Sports of the PS4. It was a bundle game. It was like a very small, few hour long platformer with just a lot of references to other Sony games, and people basically demanded a full game of it. And that's what this game is. And that's why everyone is also super into it, because it's also just interesting. And that's why you're probably seeing there's a lot of references to other games in Astrobot.
It's refreshing. That I want to. Okay, I use the term refreshing because I hope no one suddenly thinks that this is a drive for platformers to come back. No, there's no.
I mean, platformers never
have a
left.
place.
They never left.
Yeah, they just have like an ebb and flow, like where.
Yeah.
At one point, they reach the height of popularity, or like this is the coolest thing ever because someone put life and soul into a platformer.
Yep.
And then people get tired of them. They're done. They're like, we're done. It's collectathons mostly, and that's it. And then they die out for a little bit. They're still there. It's just that not that many people are going into it. And then again, like maybe a year or two later, another good platformer comes out, and everyone's like, "Oh, this one's awesome! This is cool!" And then again, they die again.
The problem with platformers is that every like, give or take 3 to 5 years, Nintendo comes out and just dominates the market, and then you're compared to whatever new Mario game came out, and you can never compete with that. But you are compared to it.
You can't. It's the game.
But that's the thing. That's what's true though. The problem is that
Mario bar.
The problem is that the bar is so high that if you're not trying, unless you're an indie company, which a lot of people, they're at least reasonable people are like, okay, they're not trying to fight Nintendo. But like if you're a AA or AAA studio, you're being compared to Mario, and that for a lot of people they don't want to, like, do you want to try to fight Nintendo at their own game? And most people, I think rightly so,
have a red hat and go wahoo.
Yeah, I know, right?
And get out of here.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those things where it's like, okay, are you willing to fight Nintendo at their own game? And I think rightfully so, most companies said no.
You
can't fight Nintendo.
There's always been there's that whole concept of, will this be the blank killer? Yeah. And what I mean by blank is like, will it be the COD killer? Will it be the WoW killer? Will it be the
League of
killer?
Legends or
the
Dota
League
killer?
Yeah.
Or Dota killer.
Yeah, the Dota killer. And
the answer from pretty much all of them is no.
Yeah, that era has stopped because every time that something came up to try to challenge the status quo, it just got stomped down. I mean, some of them gained their own following and became its own niche thing, but they don't ever succeed beyond the original thing they were competed against.
No one is the killer.
Not usually. Yeah.
Nowadays, it's mostly the Fortnite killer. There's so many games that come out that claim to be the Fortnite killer. And I don't remember what those games are named. The only one that came even close is Apex. That's the only one that came close.
Yep. And then Apex just became its own separate thing.
Yeah.
And they kind of just coincide. They kind of just exist within their own ecosystems.
Within the Battle Royale genre, it's like you're fighting Apex, Warzone, Fortnite, and PUBG.
Exactly.
And if you're not those four, then I hope to God you have a dedicated player base. You need to have enough players to be able to have a decent player base and have those players be willing to spend money.
Exactly. Like the Team Fortress 2 player community.
Well, that's a different genre, but yes. To be fair, they're
dedicated and they
No, I was talking about the Battle Royale though. I was talking about Battle Royale.
Yeah, in the Battle Royale. You're right. And
but yeah. So, Astrobot, good video game apparently. Very good video game. Unfortunately, PS5 exclusive, so I'm never playing it.
Yeah, which is why this is why I'm not learning about the story, because I'm like, I'm not going to play it. It's just an exclusive, and
but apparently an amazing video game though. Like 94 on Metacritic on the critic score, the critic reviews, and a 9.5 on user reviews with over 1,000 user views counted. And I understand
on PC.
Yeah, I understand Metacritic is, you should take it. They are dumb, but it's just like Rotten Tomato. It's a good baseline.
Yeah.
You should always form your own. You should always form your own opinions. Like, you should never just take it for but taking a Metacritic score as face value. When I see a 94 on Metacritic on user and critic reviews. I'm like, damn, that's a pretty good video game.
Exactly.
The problem is that, you know, they still rank COD very high. But I mean, to be fair, most of them are playing the campaigns, and generally the campaigns are fine. But this is actually I don't know if you have or not, but have you played the COD beta, the Call of Duty?
Yes, I have.
Okay. All right, Alchem. I'm about to say something. The last Call of Duty that I truly enjoyed is Call of Duty World at War. The last time I played a Call of Duty is the Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and the only time I truly enjoyed that game was when the 24/7 Shoot House playlist was all available. Is this Call of Duty a good Call of Duty? This is Black Ops 6, right?
Yeah, it's Black Ops 6. Okay, multiplayer wise, it feels the same. There's a new movement system.
I've seen some of the clips on Twitter about the movement stuff, and it's like, oh my god. Some of the people doing the movement stuff is insane. I'm sure that's not an average lobby, but yeah.
No, it is. You're literally running through, and you go through a corner, and someone just jumps out diving, what is it, John Woo style?
Yeah.
The only thing I'm missing is the little white doves flying around as they shoot me down midair. But I have run into a hacker once.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's not prolific. It's not every single game, but every once in a while you will run into someone and you will see their aim.
Are they just blatant?
I know some people are really good and you can see the movement, but you see it like a fluid movement.
Yeah.
Straight from
you see a human movement.
Yeah.
Not snapping.
Yeah. This was snap, snap, snap.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, we're at this point. It's the beta. How did we get here already?
To be fair, COD anti-cheat has been notoriously bad.
There was also someone who did grab me and use me as a body shield.
Oh, and did they talk to you?
And yeah, they're like, "What's super soup?" Like, unfortunately, I didn't have my mic on because I don't have it connected when I play on my other PC. So I was just like 4.
Honestly, that is something that is amazing. I'm so glad that they're finally understanding that the COD community are a bunch of trolls. Like, it took them a very long time to figure out. I don't know why it took them so long to figure this out, but they're just a bunch of trolls that want to yell at each other.
I have seen some videos of people grabbing another guy and slamming him against the wall. I was like, yeah, you like that? You like that? And I'm like, yes, COD is back. The community is back.
I mean, that's just amazing, honestly.
All we need is the after game, post game kind of little open chat lobby where one person could just say, "Good game, guys. That was really fun," and then you get a slew of slurs, insults, and everything coming at you.
Yeah, just everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I was always.
If we have that, COD is back.
Yeah, I always had COD voice off, but. That doesn't mean that it seemed like they got too serious, you know?
Yeah,
they got very serious. What happened.
Like, I feel like over the years, some players just really forgot. This is us chilling, calming down after whatever the hell.
Yeah.
So we will rip on each other. We will tear each other a new one. We will insult each other's mothers, but it's just a game. And after the match, we go on to the next match. God, if we manage to see each other again, we'll be like, "Hey, it's you, the guy who said bleep whatever expletive I'm about to say."
Massive bleep.
Yeah, bleep. Yeah, massive bleep there. But yeah, you have those moments, but I feel like everyone kind of takes it way too seriously now.
I don't know why, but you are a slideshow for me. My internet must be dying. I'm sorry. Luckily, your voice is fine, but I don't know why it does this. But yeah, so, okay. We said a lot about COD. Are you enjoying it, though? Black Ops 6.
Yeah.
Are you gonna buy it?
No, if someone gets it for me, sure, I'll continue playing it. For me, COD is one of those. I am brain dead. I want to just play game and not think and just point and click and shoot. I don't want. Okay, maybe if COD Zombies, if the zombie portion of the game is good and the story is like top tier, then sure.
I mean, the story has never been top tier, but the action scenes have always been top tier.
Yeah, the action. They always have one or two really awesome action scenes.
The thing about COD is the stories have never been. The stories have never been like crazy, like, you know, amazing, but they really know what they are. They're like, we are an action movie. We are a playable action movie. And honestly, they tried to become more serious a little bit, and they do have very serious moments, and some of the writing can be really good.
So,
but in but in the end, they're an action movie still. And honestly, it works well, I think, from at least from what I've seen. To be fair, like I said, I haven't played a COD in a very long time. Seriously.
So I'm just remembering, protect the burger town.
Protect the burger town.
God damn it. I love that one. But
so
in terms of like, it's COD.
That's it's COD. I mean, to be fair, it's good that it's COD. It's good that it's a COD game. It's I'm glad that COD still exists, honestly, you know?
Yeah.
I'm glad that it's still around. I hope with actually, you know what I just realized? I might play this one because my dad has Xbox Game Pass. I could just play it on the console. I could just play it on console if I really wanted to. I haven't.
That's true.
Seeing me use a controller though would make you laugh, honestly. There's at some point we need to figure out something. How come where you're using PC keyboard and mouse and I'm using controller, and we can just see both of us just struggle on that. To be fair, I would say you're better on keyboard and mouse than I would be on controller. Like in terms of like like how different it is for each of us.
I don't think so. I feel like I fumble the keyboard presses way too much.
Especially when it would be interesting to see. It would be interesting to see the like if we were to 1v1, I'm using controller and you using keyboard and mouse. Which, if anyone doesn't know, Alchem is generally a controller player. So him being on keyboard and mouse is not inherently an advantage against me being on controller. Which generally it would, if we were even skill, then yes, it would be. But yeah, that would be interesting. But yeah, I could just try it on that because, you know, Call of Duty is now a Microsoft game.
Yeah. Like I said, for me, the multiplayer just feels like any kind of generic COD. It's the same thing. The only thing they added was just the mobility system, which I never learned because when I started the game, it was like, we will now go through the mobility system training. Apparently there's like a tutorial mode that shows you the mobility system. I had to pee. So I went to the bathroom, did my thing, took a little bit longer than expected, you know, because it's a two-hand job there. Come back, and then it's like, great job, mission done. And I'm like, oh, what? Wait, what? I missed it, and I don't know how to open up the tutorial anymore. I don't know how to start the mobility tutorial, so I don't know how to do the jump, sprint, or anything like that.
I know how to
run. I know how to jump.
From what I know, it's you double tap whatever direction you're going.
Are you serious?
I'm pretty sure.
What the hell? So okay, I gotta try that next time. I think the beta's almost over.
Well, mine's on keyboard and mouse because I was like you double tapped the direction you want to jump. I don't know. I watched Jericho. I watched Jericho talk about it.
It's gonna be so complicated when I look at the direction. I was like, that's how you do a dragon punch. What do you mean? Like I just suddenly do a Hadouken.
That would be funny though.
Like, what is this? When did my COD become a fighter game?
I mean, to be fair, if COD became a fighting game, that would be your element.
Yeah, downright. Oh my god, never mind. I don't want to just input the raging demon while I'm playing COD. Yeah, that's how you do.
I don't know what that means, but
I mean, technically, yeah, just fighting game references. But yeah, no, that's my experience with COD so far.
That's
Will I
good.
get it? Will I get it myself? No.
I will
if
not be
like
getting it
say
myself.
if I get gifted it, sure. But if otherwise, am I seeking it myself? No. If you're a diehard COD fan, and no matter, you're probably going to get it no matter what.
I mean, I
anyway.
think if you enjoy COD, this COD is not different enough that you won't like not enjoy it. But I don't think this Call of Duty, at least from what I've seen, as me being a person who doesn't enjoy Call of Duty anymore, I don't think it's going to convince me to play Call of Duty. You know what I mean? Like, it's not different enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's still Call of Duty.
It still feels the general same.
Yeah.
It's like when Call of Duty 3 came out and I saw it and I'm like, this is basically the same.
I loved Call of Duty 3.
No, I mean Modern Warfare 3. Modern Warfare 3. Sorry. Because I honestly, when it came out, I'm like, this is just DLC. Why are you guys packaging it like
if I remember correctly, the Modern Warfare 3 was actually supposed to be DLC.
Yeah, that's what it honestly, that's what it looked like. It felt like when I downloaded it, tried it out, and I'm just like, this literally just feels like DLC.
Every once in a while, I want to buy World at War for PC, then I get depressed because it's still basically full price.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, I miss World at War. It was my favorite one.
Also, I really, really don't like how they're running the whole thing, because you have to start up. Basically, COD starts up like its own program. Like you start up COD.
It's like huge.
Yeah, and then
you also have to download Warzone.
Then you have to select the game mode you want.
Yeah.
Like for me, for example, I want to play. I have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. So I start up COD. It loads up COD. The first thing on the list is Call of Duty 3. This is before Black Ops.
Yeah.
Now it probably has Black Ops right on top of that list. So it's probably going to be Black Ops, Modern Warfare 3, and I have to scroll down past Warzone 2 to get to Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer.
Yeah.
So I hit that, and then it closes that window, starts up an entire new window just for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Yep.
So just like, why can't I just open it up individually?
Why can't you just hit play?
Yeah.
Well, it's like you remember. I can't remember what the mode was called, but it was like the Tarkov mode that you and I played a bunch of.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what it was called, but like when we were trying to play that mode, we had to click like 5 buttons to even get into the lobby in order to play that mode. Like whoever designed the UI of these games needs to to realize that guys, I understand that it looks really cool, but it's terrible to use. Please help. Please stop.
Please step on the Lego.
Please stop. What happened to what happened to being what happened to lists being so bad? Why does everything have to have a 2-second animation? I got sick of the second time.
Your toe.
Yeah. I hope your coffee is a little too hot in the beginning.
Yes.
Anyway, so speaking of,
sorry, I was just thinking more horrible.
Yeah, I the problem is if we kept going, we would have kept going. So I need to stop it. I need to put a pin on it, because Alchem, there is a game that I do want to play, but I can't play because it's a full price game and it's going to cost me $90 or $100 depending.
Canadian.
But
yes,
this game would be for me the turn off brain. Let's kill some stuff game. And that's Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2.
Oh yeah, I've seen video. I've seen people talk about it. It looks good.
So one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this game, Alchem, is because this is one of the games that perfectly represents the critic problem sometimes. Because remember I was talking about Metacritic? So it's evened out now, but the Metacritic score and critic reviews were pretty low for Space Marine 2. For instance, the big one I saw was PC Gamer. PC Gamer gave this game a 60 out of 100, right? And everyone was like, what? And it's because...
I know that sounds bad.
Yeah.
I just had to remember
that. I know that sounds bad, but Space Marine 2 is not a thinking person game. It is the most okay. Do you remember okay. I'm gonna send you back in time, Alchem. It's 2010, right?
Still standing.
It's 2010.
Yeah.
You have an Xbox 360, and you're playing Gears of War, right? That's the most dude bro game in existence, right?
I'm still standing after all this. Yeah,
I don't even know what
days.
I don't even know what you're singing.
I'm still standing. Yeah. Wait, you've never heard that one?
I don't know what that is.
Oh my god. Elton John.
Oh, you know what? I probably would have heard it if I actually heard it. I don't know lyrics. I'm sorry.
Maybe it's probably because I was singing way off key.
But like, Space Marine 2 is just like Space Marine 1, but it looks a lot better. Like, the game is from 2008. You know, Space Marine 1 is a very old game. Like, the single player campaign is like, the story is aliens bad, we good, kill aliens. There's some nuance to it. There's some character nuance to it, but that's really it. And like, I think a lot of people, the problem is a lot of people were coming into this game expecting like a character drama. And a lot of the critics seem to be expecting a lot deeper story. But what Space Marine 2 wants you to do is they want you to play through the campaign once, say, man, that was a fun time. It's cool being Titus. And then play the PvE missions over and over and over and over again to grind experience and gain cool levels for your classes and stuff. And then play in multiplayer as well.
Yeah.
You know?
It just sounds like it just wants you to have fun.
It is. And I think it's evened out. It's evened out because the Metacritic score is 83 now. But like, a lot of people are like, why do the critics hate this game? And the reason is because the critics, they wanted a better story. And to be fair to them, Space Marine 2's weakest component, I think, is the writing. And like, it's not badly written. It's just not a lot of writing to be had. You know what I mean? Like, the missions are very stock standard military style missions, but you're just a Space Marine. Okay. There is some nuance, but like, yeah. And I really want to play it because it looks really fun. It's also a pseudo fighting game too, so you know.
You had to say. Now I'm just.
It is there's a full parry system.
Kind of want to go play it now. Thanks a lot.
It's on my wish list. I'm hoping one day I'll be able to buy it.
Me too.
But
you and me both, man.
Because the single player campaign is also co-op. It's co-op, 3-player co-op. And then there is a separate operations mode, which is a 3-player PvE with 6 different classes, Darktide, like it's Darktide style. Repeatable missions with up to level 25. Guns have skill trees. Your character has skill trees. Character customization of your Space Marine's armor and all that stuff, and a 6v6 PvP multiplayer, which everyone that I've seen has said is, man, this is unfinished but really fun. Like, unfinished in the terms of like, man, there's 3 maps and 3 game modes. And but apparently very fun. Very fun.
That's good.
And I want to play it, but I can't. But it's okay.
Okay.
Someday I will play it. I mean, the good thing about this game is hopefully it's going to get even better over time. They'll just add more missions and stuff. So it'll be very good and thing. And just as a caveat to this, because I thought it was really cool, in the credits of Space Marine 2, there's a memorial to Total Biscuit, who loved 40K and loved a memorial, which is really cool because I miss Total Biscuit. He was great, and it sucks that he passed away so early.
Passed away. Yeah. He will truly, honestly, dude. He's still missed even now.
He is going to be missed forever. You know what I found out? His channel still gets views.
Yeah,
Like,
no, because the
it's
content was
insane.
still good.
This content is like, it's literally timeless. His content.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that like it's still gaining views even though he's never uploaded, obviously he's never uploaded a video until like he technically his wife took over for a little bit, but she stopped doing that pretty soon after. But yeah. So I have,
it shows in his work. It shows in all of his videos.
oh yeah, I mean,
people still go even now.
yeah, there's still a lot of people that I watch, a lot of content creators that talk about how if it wasn't for Total Biscuit, he wouldn't have they wouldn't have become content creators. That honestly, that goes for me too. One of the reasons I started becoming before I did the VTubing stuff, I did regular content creator stuff because of Total Biscuit, because I was like, that's so cool, I want to do that. So yeah, and I personally have one more story, but there is a lot more talking. So if you want to bring up something else, do you want to bring some? Do you want to talk about it, or should we go with mine first? I don't know.
Let's go with yours first.
Okay, it might go into with it because this is actually a what are they called? Not a PSA. This is an intervention for you, Alchem. You're addicted, and we're going to your house and uninstalling Deadlock. Because I see you constantly on the game at all points, even when you can't even queue because you're probably switching regions. You have a problem.
Sometimes, okay, there have been some times where I accidentally left it on.
I do know that you're on the main menu.
Accidentally. Yeah, because one time I had it on. I was planning to play, and then stuff just happened, and next thing I know, I had to be gone practically the entire day, and I come back and I'm like, oh shit, it's still on.
Yeah. That is true, but you have played a lot. I know this. And you're frozen on my screen again. What is happening?
Am I?
I wonder if it's just me. It's probably just me. Okay, you're fine now. Yeah. It's still a little laggy on my end. It must be my internet just died.
No, that time minimized it.
No.
Okay, yeah, that one's probably mine.
I feel like I'm starting to lag a lot all of a sudden. But oh god. I'll go.
Oh. Yes. I'm right here.
Was that me lagging or was that you? It was probably me.
Hello?
Oh.
That was probably you because I did not have any lag.
I don't know what's happening. So maybe we need to go through my story and then I might just DC. So so the reason I was bringing up how addicted you are to Deadlock is because I don't know if you've seen it or not, Alchem. There are so many content creators that are going full into Deadlock, and a lot of pro players that have actively quit their other games to play Deadlock and hoping for a pro scene to because this is still an invite-only alpha test, and there are pro players quitting their current games to play Deadlock, where I'm like, guys, the game isn't even out yet. We don't even know if they could shut down the servers at any point and say, okay, guys, we'll be back in a couple years. Like, at literally any point.
They're still balancing out characters. Like, some characters are still getting fixed, like, overhauled.
I mean
some characters are still being made.
Yeah, there's 12 unreleased characters that people found in the files.
Yeah. Yeah, there's characters still being worked on right now. So, I mean, it's a sign that this game is going to be successful.
Yeah, I mean, people love it.
Whether the game is ready yet, no. But that is a good sign too, because that basically means this might be the next. This might be the next Apex. Like how Apex suddenly came out the scene. It was gonna be the Fortnite killer, but it wasn't. It just became its own separate thing, and
it
people
didn't kill
grew
Fortnite,
from it. People, but it became something.
Yeah, I mean the thing with Deadlock is so. Do you know a person named Average Jonas?
I've heard their name. Isn't it the Apex player that said he's swapping?
No, he's a Valorant streamer.
No. Oh, he's a Valorant streamer.
Yeah, he's a Valorant.
But he said the same thing, right?
Yeah, he is going full blown. He is no longer going to be streaming Valorant, and he is going to be, what's it called? Going full into
full on
Deadlock.
Deadlock. Yeah,
And
I already seen people making content showing videos on how to build certain
yeah.
builds and other stuff,
Speaking of
gameplay videos and stuff.
I think you and I have talked about this guy before, but I've watched a bunch of flats loving Deadlock as well. The
Yeah.
Overwatch content creator.
Mm-hmm.
Same with
Flats has moved.
same with oh god, what's her name? Eski, the really good Lucio player.
Didn't he say he's moving over?
Who?
Eski. Or am I mistaken? No, he
didn't
say that.
She's a she, but
bad. Yeah, that wrong person.
Yeah, that's a different person, I think. Then.
Yeah, no. I heard someone saying from Apex that they're moving from Apex to Deadlock, but I just don't know because I don't know anyone from the Apex.
Noko, an Apex Legend content creator, announced he was quitting the Battle Royale for Deadlock.
I think that's
there's also a guy named Vegas, apparently. That was a PUBG pro player announcing his retirement and moving over to Deadlock.
From PUBG, that's a dedication because PUBG's been around forever.
I mean, so is Apex Legends. Apex Legends came out 2017. It's been a while. You know?
It's just been forever.
So you've been still liking Deadlock?
I've been enjoying it a lot. It's still fun. I'm still learning Ivy, but I'm also swapping over to McGinnis. I might actually try Bebop later.
I personally love
McGinnis.
McGinnis.
Kind of wondering.
I really love McGinnis.
McGinnis works so well with so many builds.
I go the full. I think I started doing it when I first started playing with you. I think a couple days ago, but I've found the gun build. It's just so funny. Also, I figured out why people level the wall first. Because it slows when you pop it.
It's burst. Yeah.
Yeah, it slows and damages while you pop it, and it just stops people from running away.
Yeah.
Because that's McGinnis' biggest problem.
Yeah, you can set up traps. You can burst with it. It has an incredibly good cooldown if you team it up with some of the cooldown perks or whatever power ups.
Yeah, the items. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm. Oh, sorry.
Like I'm playing Ivy very weirdly though. I'm playing her spirit. Spirit Ivy, which I'm basically flying around like a bomber support.
Yeah.
Most people I ever see are hardcore gunner Ivy.
Yeah, I've seen that
where
too.
They just power up her firepower, and I tried it too. It works. It really, really works. But I like being bomber Ivy because I can scare the entire team to get away. Gunner Ivy can definitely take out quite a few people, but as bomber Ivy, when I see a rush coming, I just run out, drop a couple bombs, draw a couple bombs, and if I see someone about to die, I just drop down as a statue and finish them off.
Yeah, it's good. Great. It's a fun time. I'm going to be very interested to see how long they keep this invite-only alpha test thing going. Because, like...
This is the area... Oh my god, I just realized something. This is, You're familiar with South Park, right?
Yes.
There's an episode where Cartman gets access to... I think it was like... He sues an amusement park and earns the rights to it. Or
right.
Owns it.
Yeah. He owns the amusement park. Yeah.
Yeah. And because he needs money for maintenance and staff and people to run it and stuff, he eventually opens it up to a few people, even though he absolutely does not want to.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing so, by being selective of who can come and who cannot, it ends up drawing way more interest than it should. And so it becomes a booming success.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, oh, this is that strategy. Like, we're only inviting a few people, but because they're doing that, everyone's playing and everyone's talking about it. Even though technically that's not true.
I mean, it's kind of true, but like the fact that it's a really good game, that's the That's one of the main things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I was gonna say that's the problem, but it's not a problem. It's a good thing.
Success isn't a problem.
The only problem I have is with the server times. It's really annoying. When the servers are on or off.
Yeah, I found ways around it, but at the same time,
it's super annoying.
And I will say this: what I have learned is players, the personalities are kind of different when it would like playing from U.S. servers to other servers. There are some people are much more friendly. Some people do not give
European servers are they're a whole different beast.
That's a different beast. I learned that
they're
very
crazy.
quickly.
They're insane.
Yeah,
don't mess up.
You may find one one nice polite person, but the rest of them, you screw up, and you have a talkative player over there, they will tear you a new one.
Yep.
Like, oh God, all right, yeah.
Over here, people just like swear and then like that's it. But that's like child's play, literal child's play in Europe.
They get angry. They're like genuinely mad and upset at you.
I think the best thing though, Alchem, is when they obviously English is their second language, and so it's like they're like yelling at you, but they're kind of like not making sense, but you know they're angry because like they don't really
understand what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're blatantly angry at you, but they have no idea how to properly tell you why they're angry.
Oh my God. Thankfully my play style is not so bad that they're doing that to me. There's always someone else worse. My goal is not to be the worst player in the game, which is fine by me. There's always someone else.
I mean, to be fair, you have 5 opportunities.
Yeah.
5 things to not be the worst. My biggest problem is that there's so many players that don't play MOBAs in this game and don't understand MOBAs. And it just annoys me. There's so many games where I'm like, this shouldn't be a 40-minute game. Or like, this should not be a 35-minute game. But that's because people just don't understand. Like, people MOBA don't press concepts. The advantage. Yeah, there's so I don't know how many times, Alchem, where we've won a team fight, killed a mid boss, and then everyone just goes. No one pushes.
Everyone goes back.
Everyone goes back, buys items, and then starts to jungle instead of pushing lanes. I'm like, okay, I can understand going back after killing mid boss because you just got a lot of money, but then you push, guys. You group up and push one lane.
The only reason I would say like everyone goes back is if everyone's lane is still in the middle, or no one's lane is straight to the base. If you have one that's just about to be the base or like more than halfway there, push that lane. Just go that lane. Just forget your lane.
It does depend on whether or not you should be backing or not, but like the fact that almost always no one pushes ever, it's so weird, and I just don't get why. But I mean, it's also because this is a very different like style of MOBA, so people are very they just not knowing it. And the problem is that if you try to push by yourself, you'll just die. So you can't. So you just kind of just do nothing. I mean, you just do nothing until someone finally decides to push.
I push by myself, but not to the boss. Push to
you have to push
to either the shrines. I either push to the 2 shrines as much as I can, and if I can destroy at least one of the shrines, good. If I can manage to destroy both, even better. Usually, because as Ivy, I have a way to get out. My ultimate lets me fly. So
you're playing a very mobile character.
Also, if you're at the point where you feel like you can solo either the Guardians or a boss. I'm pretty sure the rest of your team can too, because by then you probably have level 3 or tier 3, whatever the highest tier is of items.
Tier 3 items.
If you start having tier 3 items, you can probably if you pick the right tools. If you pick the right tools,
it depends. There's you
should be able to.
I mean, it's the best thing about Deadlock. There's a lot of it depends moments. Like there is. I would say it's very hard to give blanket advice past 10 minutes in Deadlock, because like the only blanket like generic advice you can do is laning phase. That's because after that it depends so much on the game state.
It all depends on what they're playing, who are you playing against, what kind of build are they doing, how good is your team, what lane is progressing, what lane isn't, who's got mid boss, all this other factors, and it's just too crazy.
I came very small, sorry.
Yeah.
I need to blow my nose 1 second. I covered my mouth while I was coughing, and I stopped my face tracking.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. But yeah, no, that has been Deadlock. It is Valve's newest MOBA. It is really, really good. They're doing this strategy of we only send you invites, or you can only join if you get invited, and people are loving it.
Yeah,
Hell, people
I
are
mean it's a
leaving
really
their
good
current
game.
games. Yeah,
I
I am
still
impressed by it.
I think pro players are jumping the gun. Content creators, I can fully understand them jumping the gun for certain games. But pro
Yeah.
players, I think this is way too soon. Pro players, I'm sorry.
Just let it come out first with all the characters, because heck,
Yeah.
you might not have found your character just yet.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
there's
there might be a
12
character that comes
unreleased
out broken.
characters. There's 12
Yeah.
unreleased characters. And
One of those
honestly,
characters could be absolutely broken when it comes out.
yeah, and honestly, I'm going to be real. Like, this isn't guaranteed to be an esport. Like,
No.
I think the biggest problem Deadlock is going to have for esports is it's a 6v6 MOBA. There's so much going on. Like, unless you know unless you know the context of stuff, it's going to be so confusing to watch, I think.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be one of those things where it really depends. But then again, League of Legends is really popular. Dota 2 is really popular. And when I watch League of Legends, I don't even know what's happening anymore because I haven't played in so long. So it's like, it just, who knows? I still think they're jumping the gun a little too soon. Content creators, I understand content creators because, you can always make content. Though the only scary thing is that at any point, this is an invite-only alpha test. Valve could turn off the servers at any point and say, okay, guys, we're going to come back in a year for the beta or something like that, Do I think they're gonna do that? No, but they could. It's also Valve though. Valve does things weirdly. Like, it's Valve. Valve can do whatever they want.
Valve does what Valve does.
Valve
does what Valve wants.
Unlike the people committing fraud, Valve actually found a money glitch, and it's called Steam. So, and they didn't need to commit check fraud for it. So it's different.
It works. It just prints money.
It literally just prints money. So, Alchem, is there anything else you want to talk about? My internet seems to be fine, so we can keep going if you want.
I was gonna go on. I mean, we can always save it for the next time because there's the new singer for Linkin Park. There's
I'm gonna be honest.
Dr. Disrespect. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
You never listened to Linkin Park.
I have listened to Linkin Park, but I haven't actually listened to the new songs. Or the cover. Are they?
They have
okay, wait.
Yeah, they have covers of some of the original ones.
Yeah, I know there's done covers. There's the actual new songs with the new singer, or
yeah, there's new songs with the new singer.
Oh, okay.
They have new songs.
I haven't actually listened to it. Honestly, I'm not. I'm not saying I'm not gonna like them, but like for music, I generally like all music. Like there's very few music styles that I don't like. So I don't know. I'm gonna be very it's good probably.
Yeah. There's two YouTubers who are like this stuff that I'll bring up for next time because I'll look up stuff. Because one just came back after a break. There's a. I mean, I'm not gonna go too much into the detail, but there's a Dr. Disrespect one coming out. That one.
I mean, that's just a mess in every way.
Yeah, that's a pile of something. But I at least want to like.
I'm surprised you want to talk about
over it. Just glance over it a little bit for another time.
Sure.
All right. And then there's Nikocado Avocado.
Honestly, I haven't.
The man.
I haven't watched any of the stuff yet. I know it happened, but I haven't watched it yet.
Because I don't. His video.
I haven't watched the videos because like I didn't support his content
behavior.
Yeah. I didn't support his anything, and
I get that.
Now, I mean, honestly, it depends. I don't know, but like, we'll see.
I saw that and I'm like, this is just the kind of forward thinking that either the genius lament and the insane I forget the phrase, the kind of forward thinking that the genius lament and the insane just have or acquire or whatever the phrasing is, because just do this for 2 years quietly in the background while making I don't know if he posts videos daily or weekly,
Who?
but he basically planned out
Oh,
2
him?
years
Yeah.
worth of videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to post periodically while he just did this. I'm just like, this is a level of genius or insanity. I just don't understand.
I'm pretty sure it's both.
I will say this: there was this one post, because I remember during the era when people were talking a lot more about him because they were very concerned about him. Someone mentioned he mentioned that he had some kind of Patreon, or not Patreon, but like an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Which I shuddered at the thought.
Oh god.
And I saw someone recently post commenting about the whole 2 steps ahead thing. It was like, at one point of these 2 steps ahead was showing your asshole part of that genius plan. I couldn't help but laugh at that. But it's just, I don't know. I just thought that's an interesting to bring up another time though. But yeah, we can go ahead and wrap up.
Well, since we're talking about stuff we'll talk about later, Alchem, I have gone more into the deep end.
Oh, the Minecraft movie. Sorry, I forgot
about Oh, you're right, the Minecraft movie. I hate it. Everything about it.
They don't
Everything
care.
about
they don't
it.
Care.
I hate it. And
there may be good people behind the 3D aspect of it, but storytelling wise, or at least trailer wise, it looks like they don't care.
Why are there humans? Why are there humans? Why do humans exist in the Minecraft movie? It's so I'm triggered, Alchem.
If they literally said that this movie, if you don't like this movie, it's not for you, then they're just trying to say this is a made for TV movie, or this is a made for like streaming movie.
Yeah.
This is not meant for kids. This is meant for them to watch on their tablets while their parents are going to work or something. This is meant for them to just watch and not give a shit about. Well, that's it. They don't care.
Yeah, I don't know. I hate it so much.
Yep.
But yes, so what I was gonna just before in the future things, I have gone to the deep end of crypto and NFTs again, and I've watched so many videos.
No.
And I can't wait to tell you about them, Alchem. So we'll leave that for next time. We'll leave that for next time. So, Alchem, why don't you do your shoutouts?
It caught me off guard there. Hi, I am. Hold on, let me get my little card here.
Yep.
My name is okay, but yeah, welcome. Those who have been listening in on the podcast, thank you all for joining. I hope you guys had fun as well. We were gone for a bit for our various reasons, but we're back. Yep. And for those wondering, my name is Alchem. I'm a little raccoon tanuki VTuber. Currently, you see me as a little cat right now, but yeah, you can catch me on Twitch and YouTube, where I usually stream gaming content, and I either am gaming, goofing around, sometimes singing, sometimes exploring VR chat. I'm a model maker. Rookie model maker, but yeah. And yeah, you can catch me on those platforms. And if you want to continue seeing me there, just pop in, follow, and get notified when I go live, and yeah, have fun and enjoy there. And yeah, take it away, Jelly.
Hello everyone, I am the Techno Jelly. I am a slime VTuber that does videos and stuff. I honestly no longer do gameplay videos on my YouTube channel. I am a news channel now. So I hope if you enjoy that, I post daily news/report videos. I am working on a video essay style for a game called Stormgate, and it makes me sad. And that's all I'll say about that. And other than that, I still do stream video games on YouTube and Twitch 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Check me out on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all those cool things. Episode 30 will be coming up in a couple of weeks, and we will be doing something special for it. I haven't told Alchem what I'm planning, because I don't know what we're planning. So we'll figure it out, I'm sure. Other than that, thank you all for watching episode 27 of Two Buds One Podcast, and we'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye, everyone.
Later, guys.